Do not fear, my friends, I'm not a creep and I'm not turning into one either, but yeah, in today's video I'm discussing how incest is awfully present in The Sims 1, 2, 3 and 4. Hello baby boys, yes, I'm always trying to find topics that nobody has quite touched on in a video yet, and that's what brought me here. Also, comparison videos are really popular in this community, but anyway, incest is when... well, you probably know that already, so let's move on to The Sims. Oh, and by the way, I'll be really fast, but can you please subscribe, like the video and leave a comment? It makes me so happy when you guys interact with my videos, especially when you guys comment, even when it's a bad comment like this one. Yes, I'm okay with that, okay? Give me your criticism, read me for filth, but please interact. Anyway, let's go back to the video. Sims 1 is lacking a lot of stuff that would get people really mad nowadays if Sims 4 was missing it, like gay marriage, body diversity and all that. But even so, this game is awesome! Another thing that Sims 1 lacks? Blood. Yeah, nobody's really related in this game, meaning parents and their offspring aren't recognized as family. The same goes for siblings, cousins, you get the idea. There are no genetics either, so two white Sims can end up having a black baby. And how does incest come into this pixelated picture? Well, because the game doesn't recognize family ties, things can get pretty weird. Mama and Alden Hick from Old Town are mom and son. They're living together in a trailer with a lot of dogs and not a lot of money. As we know their family, we wouldn't make them kiss or anything, even though all the kissing interactions are available, which is already pretty weird. But like I said, the game doesn't recognize family ties. However, free will is activated by default, so they can end up flirting and kissing on their own, which, as you can imagine, is really creepy but totally possible. Bella and her brother Michael both live in Neighborhood 1 when the game starts, but back then we didn't know they were related. There's nothing in the game saying they're brother and sister, we only find out in Sims 2, so a player could easily make Michael Bella's lover. This could also happen by free will, it's a whole potential mess. One can argue that before Old Town, incest wasn't quite possible, as Neighborhood 1 only featured family ties between adults and children like Bella, Mortimer and Cassandra and the Pleasant family. Even though Michael Bachelor wasn't the family being, as I mentioned, we had no way of knowing he and Bella were related, so there's that. Because children don't age in this game, it makes me think maybe the devs didn't really consider incest as a real possibility. That was a mistake. Oh, and by the way, a spell from Making Magic can turn children into adults, so like I said, a whole potential mess. I've always played with free will turned off though, I'm a god and my Sims obey only to me. There's a real strange place in Sims 2. Weird stuff happens here. Welcome to Strangetown. Sims 2 finally introduced real family relationships, so you would think this whole incest mess is now behind us. Wrong. What happens here is most likely a glitch, we all should hope, but it also makes some sense given the hood's name. Some Sims that shouldn't be flagged as family are, meaning that totally random Sims are related to each other as relatives, even though they shouldn't be. You know how everybody loves to pair Pascal Curious and Nervous Subject? Well, for some odd reason, they're related. Strangetown Bella Goth also has some weird stuff going on in her data, as she considers herself the aunt of Johnny and Jill Smith and the sibling of Vidcon Curious. General Buzz Grant is weirdly related to Polynesian Tech9 Smith and Olive Spectre, his biggest enemies. That's what I'd call a plot twist. Laszlo Curious has reading family flags for Crystal Vu, his girlfriend. One can argue that this is because he loves her so much that he considers her part of his family. I love to say you're right, but actually his brothers Vidkan and Pascal also consider Crystal part of their family, with Pascal even seeing her as his sister. Creepy, I know. Not to mention Polynesian Tech9 being married to Jen Smith, the daughter of the man he impregnated and had twins with. So he had kids with both father and daughter, which is crazy to me and everybody else watching, I hope. This makes Lola and Chloe singles both cousins and sisters of Johnny and Jill Smith. That's insane. And why in the living hell would you marry the alien that abducted your freaking father, Jenny? Are you okay? There's a lot of other weird connections in Strangetown, a lot of corrupted data waiting to crash your game and destroy everything, including your moral values and beliefs. And while these relationships alone, except for Laszlo and Crystal, don't mean incest is imminent, it's quite likely to happen at some point. Inbreeding is something about to happen in any base game hood, let's be honest. There are just a few families per hood, and by generation 3 everybody will be related already. Actually, the game does not recognize first cousins once removed as families, so get the picture. This is true for Sims 2, 3 and 4, probably because so many generations usually don't coexist, and the devs just didn't care much about it. But I fear they should, as vampires age, cheats can easily make a sim immortal, and there are even gameplay options like the Elixir of Life that can make a sim gain extra days, allowing them to coexist and get together with their first future cousins once removed, and further generations. When it comes down to Strangetown, these sims aren't really genetically related. I mean, not even the ones who should be are, so you're probably safe. At the end of the day, I don't think these creepy family ties from Strangetown were supposed to be part of the game at all. Why they are, I don't know, but I challenge April Black to give us some answers about it, because I believe she's the only one capable of solving this mystery. Why is everybody's data in this hood so strange? Get it? Anyway, let's talk about Sims 3. Welcome to Twinbrook. This word from The Sims 3 is heavily inspired by the real US state of Missouri, featuring a southern swamp aesthetic and culture. This is also where rumors of an inbred family takes place. There's an ongoing stereotype about Southern Americans and incest, so keep that in mind. The Bailey's family resides in March Mansion at 153 Russell's Pond Road, in the backwater bayou portion of Twinbrook. It's composed of parents Wayne and Skid and their children Chase and Tay. Some focus is placed on the origins of the Bayless family. The in-game biography of the family, as well as Wayne's, tends to suggest that the family has been quite hard to track down over generations. Wayne's bio reads: despite her charming city-like personality, Wayne was actually born in the Riverlands. The family lineage is a bit murky, and anyone who has ever tried to track it down has only been led in circles. Some people might say that this can mean multiple things, but let me remind you, this is not Sims 4. Sims 3 actually had really heavy and well-made lore. Need more? Here it comes. Every member of the Bailey's family has the family-oriented trait. This is not even a hint, I call it shade. Given the hints and the fact that this is actually a real stereotype about Southern Americans, I believe the Bailey's family was indeed supposed to be an inbred family. It's giving wrong turn, to be honest. They also all share the angler and the loves the outdoors traits, so that's cool, I guess. I never really leave the house, so how would I know? But even so, there's not one ancestor of the Bayless family present in the game, as the devs became more and more lazy about making big family trees like the ones we had in Sims 2. So it's not like they are really inbred, it's just a possible storyline that many players believe to be true and nothing more when it comes down to gameplay. I gotta say though, I miss the days when this game's lore was that bold. Sims 4 had some incest moments. Yes, moments, as in more than one moment, which is crazy but very true. So what happens here is, well, as everybody knows, every time this game updates, all hell breaks loose. And it's funny because the reason some updates happen in the first place is to fix bugs, but somehow they always create new bugs and fail to fix the old ones. Mashable article on the topic reads: Multiple players have noticed their Sims developing and appropriating incestuous desires after the July 26 update, sharing tales and screenshots of family relationships that have gotten a bit too familiar. Brothers, sisters, and mothers are now itching to confess romantic feelings to immediate family members in The Sims, making for some very awkward households. This is from 2022 and related to the damn new Once and Fierce system, but Incest made a comeback this year with a new expansion pack, Love Struck. How ironic. Not that he ever really left. As I mentioned, the game allows romantic relationships between family members from first cousins once removed and beyond. PC Games End's article on the topic reads: the new Love Struck expansion pack and patch come with an in-game dating app, more control over relationships, and even polyamory, but Sims getting crushes on family members wasn't supposed to be on the menu. Of course, every incest glitch is now fixed and water under the bridge for Sims 4, but it's still crazy to think this was part of the game. Some people even call it Sincest, so I gotta say, it's a tradition at this point. Well, Incest is real and happening right now. Anyway, baby boys, that was today's video. I sure hope you guys enjoy it, and if that's the case, show me some love. Unless we're related, then just don't. I'll see you in the next one. XOXO, Creusa Darwin.